You hear them on the radio, and instantly, you're back in the 1970s. That one song that defined a moment. The artist who was everywhere for a few months, then never heard from again. Whether it was novelty records, disco, rock, or funk, these artists had their moment and then disappeared from the mainstream. In this video, we're going to explore 12 one-hit wonders only 1970s kids remember. Number 12, Spirit in the Sky, by Norman Greenbaum, 1970. Norman Greenbaum's Spirit in the Sky opened up the 1970s with an undeniable presence. Released in 1970, the song is instantly recognizable. That guitar riff is burned into the memory of anyone who lived through that era. It's one of those songs that sounds like it could fit perfectly into a Western movie, even though it's clearly a 1970s recording. Greenbaum was a musician and producer from Los Angeles, and this novelty spiritual number became his defining moment. The song reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, which was an impressive chart position. It spent weeks on the radio, and everyone knew it. What made the song work was its unusual combination of a gospel-influenced message with rock instrumentation and production. It wasn't preachy or heavy-handed. It was almost playful in its spiritual optimism. The production featured a distinctive guitar sound that gave it a unique flavor compared to everything else on the radio at the time. Norman Greenbaum never had another hit of this magnitude. He recorded other songs, but nothing caught on the way Spirit in the Sky did. The song has endured, though. It appeared in movies, TV shows, and commercials. It's been covered by other artists. But for Greenbaum, this one song became his legacy, the track that would define his career and ensure his name remained in music history. Number 11, Brandy, You're a Fine Girl, by Looking Glass, 1972. Looking Glass was a rock band from New Jersey, and they released their only significant hit in 1972. Brandy, You're a Fine Girl, tells the story of a girl who works at a bar and dreams of something more. The song has a buoyant, almost narrative quality to it. Listeners can picture the scene the song describes: the tavern, the sailor, the girl working behind the bar. It's storytelling set to music. The song climbed to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became one of the most recognizable songs of the early 1970s. It had a folk rock sensibility that was still very much in the air in the early 70s. The band's name didn't match the song's success. Looking Glass made one album and then disappeared. The one-album wonder and the one-hit wonder go hand in hand in this case. What's interesting about Brandy is how specifically it tells its story. The song creates characters and a setting. Listeners felt like they were in that tavern with Brandy. The song resonates because it's about longing and unfulfilled dreams, themes that connected with audiences. After their initial success, Looking Glass members went their separate ways. The band eventually reunited for occasional performances, but they never came close to matching the commercial success of their debut hit. Number 10, Playground in My Mind, by Clint Holmes, 1972. Clint Holmes's Playground in My Mind is a quirky track that shouldn't have worked as well as it did. Released in 1972, it features a child speaking the opening lines and talking throughout the song. It's novelty in nature, but there's something genuinely touching about it. The song deals with themes of childhood and nostalgia, which resonated with audiences in the early 70s. The song reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, which was an impressive showing for such an unconventional track. In the context of 1972, audiences were willing to accept experimentation and novelty to a degree that wouldn't happen as much in later decades. The song's use of a child's voice was charming rather than off-putting. It created an intimate, almost personal feeling. Clint Holmes was a singer and entertainer, but like so many one-hit wonders, he never matched this success again. He continued performing and recording, but "Playground in My Mind" was his signature moment. The song remains a time capsule of early 1970s pop sensibilities, creative, playful, and willing to take risks. It's the kind of song that wouldn't necessarily get recorded or released in the same way today. But in 1972, it found an audience that embraced it. Number 9. Seasons in the Sun by Terry Jacks, 1974.
We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun.
Terry Jacks was a member of the Canadian pop group The Poppy Family before launching a solo career. His version of Seasons in the Sun, a Jacques Brel composition, became a massive hit in 1974. The song is bittersweet and reflective, dealing with themes of mortality and legacy. It has a melancholic quality to it, but it's set to a gentle, accessible melody that made it radio-friendly.
We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun.
The song reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1974 and became one of the biggest songs of the year. Its popularity was somewhat unusual because it wasn't upbeat or danceable. It was thoughtful and introspective, but audiences connected with its emotional depth. The song spoke to people who had experienced loss or who thought about their own mortality.
But the stars we could reach were just starfish on the beach.
After the success of Seasons in the Sun, Terry Jacks was unable to replicate that commercial triumph. He recorded other material, but nothing achieved the same chart success or cultural impact. The song has remained popular over the decades, though some people find its melancholy mood a bit heavy. Nonetheless, it remains a powerful snapshot of 1974, a year when the music industry was still willing to embrace contemplative, emotionally complex songs on the radio.
We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun.
Number 8. Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas, 1974. Carl Douglas's Kung Fu Fighting is pure, unapologetic novelty. Released in 1974, it capitalizes on the popularity of martial arts films and Bruce Lee's cultural impact. The song is upbeat, almost funky, with a memorable hook and a narrative about martial arts. It doesn't take itself seriously, and that's part of its charm. In the context of 1974, when Kung Fu was genuinely trendy in popular culture, the song perfectly captured the moment. The song became a massive hit, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It became an international hit as well, which was impressive for such a novelty track. The song's success shows how a well-timed novelty song can capture the zeitgeist and become genuinely popular. It wasn't cynical, it was fun and energetic in a way that audiences appreciated. Carl Douglas never had another hit of this magnitude. He released other music, but Kung Fu Fighting remained his defining track. The song has aged in an interesting way. It's instantly recognized, and it carries a certain charm because of its specific moment in time. You can't hear it without thinking of the early to mid-1970s. The song has appeared in films and TV shows over the decades, keeping it in the cultural conversation long after its initial release. Number 7. The Night Chicago Died by Paper Lace, 1974. Paper Lace was a British band that achieved success in the American market with this novelty hit. Released in 1974, The Night Chicago Died tells a narrative story set to a rock melody. The song is about a shootout between police and criminals in Chicago, told from the perspective of a young boy. It's storytelling in the vein of other narrative songs, but with a specific 1970s sensibility.
I heard my mama cry. I heard her pray the night.
The song reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became one of the biggest hits of 1974. Its success in America was significant, considering Paper Lace was a British band. The song resonated with American audiences, despite its subject matter being historical rather than contemporary. The narrative format gave the song memorable qualities that helped it climb the charts.
The night Chicago died.
Paper Lace never matched this success in the American market. While they continued their career in the UK and elsewhere, they remained a one-hit wonder in America. The song has remained in the cultural memory, often referenced in lists of 1970s one-hit wonders. It's the kind of song that, once you've heard it, you remember it. The narrative structure and specific details make it distinctive and memorable.
And he kissed my mama's face, and he brushed her tears away. The night
Number 6. Come and Get Your Love by Redbone, 1974. Redbone was a Native American rock band that achieved mainstream success with Come and Get Your Love, released in 1974. The song is funk-influenced with a Native American spiritual element. It has a groove-oriented feel that differs from much of the rock music dominating the radio at the time. The song is upbeat and danceable, with positive messaging about love and connection. The song climbed to number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it one of the most successful tracks on this list. Its popularity shows how audiences in 1974 were embracing funk and groove-oriented music even outside the disco movement. The song's fusion of Native American cultural elements with contemporary funk sounds was innovative for its time. It brought representation to mainstream radio in a meaningful way. While Redbone had some chart success with other songs, Come and Get Your Love remained their most significant hit. The song has maintained cultural relevance over the decades. It was featured prominently in the film Guardians of the Galaxy, introducing it to new generations. This second wave of popularity shows how the song's musical qualities have endured. The combination of the groove, the positive message, and the cultural uniqueness of the band has kept the song fresh and relevant across decades. Number 5. Wildfire by Michael Murphy, 1975.
She went calling wildfire.
Michael Murphy's Wildfire is a country rock ballad that tells a narrative story about a horse and its rider. Released in 1975, the song has a gentle acoustic quality with orchestral arrangements. It's a love story, but also a story about loss and memory. The song reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it one of the most successful tracks on this list in terms of chart position. The song's narrative structure and emotional depth helped it connect with audiences. It wasn't a novelty track, but it also wasn't a typical rock song. It occupied a space between country and rock, which was increasingly popular in the mid-1970s. The song's specific storytelling made it memorable and gave it repeated listening appeal. Audiences felt the emotional journey the song described. While Michael Murphy continued his career and had some success in the country market, Wildfire remained his defining moment in mainstream pop. The song has maintained its popularity over the decades, particularly among those who grew up listening to it. It represents a kind of emotional, narrative-driven songwriting that was popular in the mid-1970s. The song shows how a well-crafted story can make a song resonate across time and changing musical trends. Number 4. Convoy by C.W. McCall, 1975. C.W. McCall's Convoy is a novelty track about truck drivers and CB radio culture. Released in 1975, it captures a specific moment in American culture, when truck drivers and CB radio were becoming cultural phenomena. The song uses CB radio language and slang, which made it feel authentic and contemporary. It's not a serious song. It's meant to be fun and entertaining, and it succeeds at that. The song reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming one of the most successful novelty records of the 1970s. Its popularity was fueled by genuine cultural interest in truck driving and the camaraderie of the trucking community. The song tapped into something real, even though it was presented in a novelty format. The song inspired a film of the same name and became a cultural touchstone. C.W. McCall had one other modest hit, but Convoy remained his defining commercial success. The song has endured as a novelty classic. It's instantly recognizable to anyone who lived through the mid-1970s. The song captures the era not just musically, but culturally. It's a snapshot of 1975 American culture, with all its quirks and unique moments. That specificity is part of what has kept it in cultural memory for nearly 50 years. Number 3. Afternoon Delight by Starland Vocal Band, 1976. Starland Vocal Band's Afternoon Delight is an upbeat, cheerful pop song about romance and connection. Released in 1976, the song has a joyful, almost carefree quality. The band's tight vocal harmonies and the song's infectious melody made it instantly likable. The song reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became one of the defining songs of 1976. The song won a Grammy Award for Best Pop Vocal Performance by a duo or group, which was a significant honor. Its popularity shows that audiences in 1976 were embracing straightforward, feel-good pop music. The song didn't have a complicated message or narrative. It was simply well-crafted pop music designed to make listeners happy. In the context of 1976, that straightforward approach was effective. Starland Vocal Band never replicated this success. The band went their separate ways after a few years of moderate success. Afternoon Delight remained their defining moment, the song they would always be associated with. The song has maintained its place in popular culture, often referenced when discussing 1970s pop hits. Its simplicity and charm have kept it fresh across the decades. It's the kind of song that, if it came on the radio, would immediately bring listeners back to the 1970s. Number 2. Disco Duck by Rick Dees and his Cast of Idiots, 1976. Rick Dees and his Cast of Idiots' Disco Duck is peak novelty. Released in 1976, it's a silly, fun track that features duck sounds and disco rhythms. The song makes no pretense of being serious or meaningful. It's purely designed to entertain and make people laugh. That straightforward approach to entertainment was precisely what made it successful. The song reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming one of the most successful novelty records of the 1970s. Its success shows that audiences were willing to embrace humor and silliness in their music. The song became a massive cultural phenomenon, and Rick Dees became known as a novelty artist. It's the kind of record that adults might roll their eyes at, but children and teenagers absolutely loved it. The song has aged in an interesting way. What might have seemed embarrassing at the time has become charming with age. It's become a nostalgic artifact of 1970s pop culture. The song represents a specific approach to entertainment that emphasized fun and humor. Rick Dees continued his career as a radio personality and entertainer, but Disco Duck remained his most commercially successful recording. The song has appeared in films and TV shows as a shorthand for 1970s pop culture excess and novelty. Number 1. Black Betty by Ram Jam, 1977.
Black Betty,
Ram Jam's Black Betty is a funk rock adaptation of a traditional folk song. Released in 1977, the song has a driving beat and a guitar riff that's instantly recognizable. The song is energetic and danceable, with a groove-oriented feel. While Black Betty was originally a folk standard, Ram Jam's 1977 version gave it a contemporary funk rock sound that made it a hit on 1970s radio. The song reached number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it one of the most commercially successful tracks on this list. Its success shows how audiences in 1977 were embracing funk rock fusion. The song's energy and groove made it popular on both radio and in clubs. It had crossover appeal that worked in the mainstream pop market, the funk market, and the rock market. Ram Jam never had another hit of this magnitude. The band released other material, but nothing achieved the commercial success of Black Betty. The song has remained culturally relevant, particularly because it's been used in films and commercials over the decades. Its distinctive guitar riff and groovy beat have kept it fresh. The song represents the era when rock and funk were increasingly merging, creating a new kind of popular music that appealed to diverse audiences. What's interesting about these 12 songs is how varied they are. Some are novelty records, some are serious songs, some are funk, some are rock, some are pop. What unites them is that they each captured a specific moment in time and resonated with audiences, in a way that the artist's other work could not. That's what a true one-hit wonder is. Not necessarily a bad artist, but an artist whose moment came and went. For many of these bands and artists, one-hit wonder status carries a certain stigma. People might assume that the artist wasn't talented or that the song wasn't good, but that's a misunderstanding of what happened. These artists created songs that connected with millions of people. That's a significant achievement. The fact that they couldn't replicate that success doesn't diminish the accomplishment. Some of these songs have endured better than others. Spirit in the Sky, Wildfire, and Come and Get Your Love have had second lives in films and media in recent years. Other songs remain beloved by those who lived through the 1970s, but have faded from mainstream consciousness. Nonetheless, each of these songs has a place in the cultural history of the 1970s. The 1970s was a particularly fertile time for one-hit wonders. The music industry was in flux, with disco, rock, funk, and country all competing for radio airtime. Albums weren't as important as singles. Music videos didn't exist yet, so radio play was everything. In that environment, a song could become massive almost overnight, and then fade away just as quickly. Many of these one-hit wonders have become more appreciated in retrospect. People who lived through the 1970s often have nostalgic affection for these songs. They represent specific moments in time. They remind us of where we were and what we were doing when we first heard them. They're touchstones of an era. For younger generations, these songs are historical artifacts. They tell us about 1970s pop culture. They show us what was popular, what was funny, what resonated with audiences of that era. They give us insights into the cultural moment of the 1970s. In that sense, one-hit wonders are valuable cultural documents, not failures. The 1970s sensibility that allowed for silly novelty records, straightforward pop songs, and experimental fusions of genres created an environment where these songs could flourish. Modern radio is more format-driven, and artists are expected to have sustained careers with multiple hits. The one-hit wonder phenomenon was particularly 1970s. It's one of the things that makes that decade musically distinctive. If these 1970s one-hit wonders brought back memories for you, we'd love for you to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We explore the songs and artists that defined decades of music history. We look at the hits you remember and the stories behind them. We dig into pop culture from the eras you lived through, helping you revisit those moments and discover new perspectives on the music that shaped your life. On this channel, we celebrate the artists who had their moment in the sun, whether they went on to long careers or remained one-hit wonders. We explore what made certain songs resonate with audiences. we examine how musical trends developed and changed over time. If you want to relive the music of the decades you grew up in and understand the cultural history behind those songs, this is the place for you. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video, and hit the notification bell so you stay in the loop whenever we post something new. We've got more deep dives into music history, more forgotten hits, and more stories about the artists who defined generations. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.